Hey everyone, Grant here from Spectra Racing. So after 10 years of ownership of a basic car hauler, I finally upgraded to a Futura ProSport trailer. It's considered kind of the best open trailer, although it is very expensive. So today we're going to go over and do a review of the ProSport Futura and see if it was worth the price. Okay, so some background on me. I paid for this trailer. There's no sponsor here. I average about one event per month historically over the last 11 plus years of racing. I do time attack, autocross, and rally. This is the ProSport Futura 20-foot trailer. It was made in April of 2024. So at the time of this review, I have about 6,000 miles on the trailer. I did two very long distance trips with the trailer without the rock guard. Alright, so the good about the trailer. So high quality materials everywhere, use of aluminum. Everything about the trailer screams quality. The design of it is very intuitive and definitely designed for someone who likes racing. The only thing, there is one area that we'll get to later in the bad that was poorly designed, but the flare at the end, like I said, the use of aluminum everywhere, even these nice little door guards here that you can put in different areas. Everything is very well thought out. The next thing, since it's aluminum, is it's very lightweight. I was able to tow this with a Tacoma, 6,000 plus miles, even in the mountains in Tennessee, without the tire mount and rock guard. It's 1,400 pounds. Those two things probably add at least another 100 pounds to it. It's very easy to balance weight on this trailer. From the manual itself, it does tell you to put everything as far forward as possible, but you can see in this picture, I have a custom pit vehicle, which definitely check out the video on our channel of the Warthog. One of the reasons why I bought this trailer was for the length and light weight of it, but it's just super easy to balance the weight with the Airline track, which is one of the features that is just immensely useful. So the Airline track, you can kind of see here, is it's just this track of things. You can put these mounts here, and basically you just kind of pull this out, and you can mount it in different locations. So it is super useful to mount different things in different places. And I really like that it goes the entire length of the trailer. So the tire rack is definitely one of the next features. There are a couple accessories that come with this. It's the winch, the tire rack, and the rock guard. Of those accessories, the rock guard is probably the one not needed, honestly. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But the tire rack, super easy to mount tires onto. It's got these keys here, although I think they're keyed for two different keys, which is a little annoying. But the tire rack itself is adjustable and easy to use. So the rock guard, I have not actually used, quote-unquote, towed with the rock guard. I just put it on recently as I'm going to be upgrading trucks. From the 6,000 plus miles I've put on the trailer, due to the length of the A-frame here, I believe it's not really necessary. I put the Warthog here, which is plastic, and no scratches, dents, or anything in it, barely even any dirt. So I think the length of the A-frame, and also I'm running a slightly longer hitch receiver, whatever. I don't get any rocks, and honestly, I've never gotten any rocks on any trailer, even my smaller car hauler. And I believe it's just dependent on the truck and tire, honestly. I've always run BFG TAK02s. The only vehicle I've ever had throw rocks was an independent rear suspension Expedition. Okay, so the winch system is, you can see here, it's just it's basically just a mini Champion that's rebranded. It's probably overpriced, but it came with the trailer. You can see it has like a kind of an off-road style pulley system here, so you can kind of get the trailer even closer. Pretty basic. You can control it with the remote that it comes with, or from the front in the storage box itself. Okay, so obviously the most important thing about this trailer is the tilting system. The tilting system I have not had any trouble with. However, it does your whole loading and unloading procedure. You kind of have to remember to do some certain things, or else you kind of have to redo it, such as like putting the windows down in your car. If your car has like a double tap key to unlock windows, it's much more useful. My car is too old to have that, and I have not any issues with it. You do have to kind of maintain it, from what I've heard, at least once a year by lubing up some things here and there. There is a procedure if it breaks. Basically, you jack it up from here, you pop those pins in place, and take the winch system off, or kind of zip tie it up until you can get it fixed. So with the lowering system, obviously one of the other great benefits of the trailer is you do not need ramps. It's one of the reasons why I bought this trailer. I'm getting older. I've really hated using my, albeit even fairly light, large aluminum ramps, and even the race ramps. I do not use any of those anymore. I use two 2x4s, and that's a car with a very large splitter with about 4 inches of clearance at the front of the splitter, and then a very long distance to the front tires. So with that, if you don't have a splitter, you definitely don't need 2x4s. And with the 2x4s, I still have probably an inch of clearance, so with longer 2x4s, I could get the splitter really, really low, which I plan on doing for next season. But, and even that, you can probably, depending on the height of your truck, or if you leave the trailer connected to the trailer or not, and the length and angle and everything, you could probably get the angle a little bit better too, where you might not even need 2x4s with a car with a splitter. Some of the other things with the lowering system is you do have to remember to, I think you can take off the tire covers, although that's kind of one of the bad things about this trailer that we'll get into a little bit later. All right, so we're in the stored position right now for the trailer. So to raise it up, so currently I have the trailer, the electronics box comes with a maintainer. You can also use a solar panel, although the solar panel is pretty weak, and I do keep my trailer underneath a sunshade, so it probably still gets enough solar, but I just leave it connected to the battery maintainer. But there is a remote. I don't like using the remote, mostly because to turn it on you have to hold these two buttons down, and sometimes if you don't get that right, or it's just stuck or something, you could hit the up or down. I just use these right here and it's fine. But okay, so we turned it on. We're in the store position, so we want to, so you have controls for the lift winch and the recovery winch. The recovery winch, you can see there's a connector here for it, and it goes through. I don't have the recovery winch plugged in right now, although I do when I get ready to go on for a trip or whatever, I just leave it plugged in. I don't like to drive the car on and off this trailer with the wide splitter. I'm too afraid that I'm just gonna bash it right into the side. Anyway, okay, so we're in the store position, so we're gonna put the trailer up. So you see it had a stopping point, and all you do is you flip these things down, and this does have a one of the most common things on this trailer is that you're going to ruin, and I've already ruined it, is the flip up and down license plate. I recommend you just leave it up because you're going to back into it. Flip these, and you're good to go. So to undo that procedure, basically just reverse it. And this time I'm going to try and get some video underneath. And you see it stopped there when the tension started to slacken. So turn the recovery winch off, and that's it. You can see the cords are a little slack here. So the up and down system works great. It's a lot easier than freaking ramps. I guess we'll see if it holds up. I haven't heard too many complaints, and like I said, there is a procedure if it breaks, so it isn't the end of the world. So let's move on to some of the mixed items. Okay, so some of the things that are not great but not terrible: storage. The storage, this is what you're looking at. Not a lot. So you have the electronics box, which takes up basically almost half, and then you have this. So as you can see, I have space for fire extinguisher, my super heavy industrial grade lock, which I'd recommend budgeting in because it's another like $200-300. I have my sway control, which is something that I added. It's a very basic mild sway control, only because I was towing with Tacoma, although I'll probably still use it on the F-150 that's coming. But yeah, not a lot of space here. There is a airline track in the storage area, which is nice. But if you do want to upgrade this, you will have to relocate all the electronics. If you get a taller box, then you have to reach down into the taller box. That's probably why they didn't do that. So you'd have to put it somewhere else. I'm gonna come up with another solution that I'll make a video on later, and that's probably putting a storage box taking up about 1/4 of the tire carrier. It will murder the gas mileage, but whatever. The other thing is it has a non-standard wheel jack, and the wheel jack itself is kind of a hit or miss, honestly. If you want to put an electric RV jack, that is not a standard plate or whatever you want to call it. So I don't know what standard it is. I couldn't find it. If you know what it is, post it down below. The wheel jack itself is kind of a pain. One of the good things is that as you rotate the wheel jack up, it will pull up and away. So this trailer will not high center. Basically, if you've ever towed anything and forgotten to put the jack up all the way and you smash it against the concrete and you hear scraping noises, you know what I'm talking about. Or if you have a really high approach angle at a gas station or something, sometimes you'll jam the jack on the ground. This will not do that because the wheel jack pulls up and into the frame. I'll take a picture of it later. And the downside is that, okay, A, it makes the car incredibly easy to steal because it's on a wheel. So if you don't have a hitch pin lock like I do there, if you're at Love's Truck Stop and you got the squirts from eating too many Popeyes fried chicken, someone could easily just undo that and wheel it onto their truck and steal it in probably under a minute. So highly recommend the hitch lock there, hitch pin lock, whatever it's called. So the wheel, you also have to wheel chock everything or else it'll roll away, especially at like a track on a hill or something. So that can be a little nerve-wracking, and it's one more thing to remember. So I am conflicted about this. The not high centering is a great feature. However, it is kind of ruined by everything else. So the obvious other bad thing is, well, this trailer looks expensive, and it was expensive. This was $23,000 out the door. The dealer actually wanted more, and I just told them I didn't want the accessories. I think they wanted almost $27,000 initially, and I talked them down because they didn't want to be stuck with leftover accessories, which so I had to assemble all that myself, which took about an hour, so I'm not sure why that was a big deal. But and it seems to be only available through dealers, so that's just kind of a pain. You can't really buy it direct. So I will say it was worth it. However, I do feel like I got my money's worth. But let's get into some of the things I really don't like about this trailer. Okay, so the first thing, the removable fenders, they sound like a great idea. They're just poorly implemented in my opinion. So from the factory, none of them were easy to pull out. I had to put anti-seize on them, and you know what happens whenever you get the anti-seize out is it gets all over you. But basically these pins were, I had to get like a locking pliers to pull them out because they already seized up after only like 2 months in Florida. But I'm not sure if this is the one, but the way these, let's see, I'm not sure if you're supposed to remove them in this off position. There you go, looks like it's coming out. Okay. So it's not this one, but you see this here? These are all taped, and as you know, as you can see, all the tape is gone. So what's happening is that when you hit a bump, these cords are getting frayed out, and your light won't work anymore. So one of them is already broken. I don't know why they thought taping was a good idea and not just putting a little plastic clamp or something here like they did right here. You got me, but that has already broken, so I'm going to inquire about a warranty fix on that. Yeah, I can just fix it myself in about 5 minutes, but I don't know, when you pay $23,000 or something, that is a weird oversight in my opinion. I did have to bore out all of the plastic on these. They were way too small, and it was nearly impossible to remove the pins, even with anti-seize. And the quick disconnect for the these, it's all right. As you can see, that's pretty much it, and it all comes loose. Kind of see some of the engineering here is still pretty cool. Okay, so the things, that was really it for the kind of stuff that I really didn't like. The things that it kind of needs that it just doesn't have is lighting. So it already has a battery and stuff, obviously, pretty big one. So I feel like the tire carrier should have come with lights, like integrated LEDs down here, or maybe some kind of light bar to help loading at night. I felt like would have been a nice quality of life feature, or even just an accessory. I don't really do a lot of loading or unloading at night, but I feel like that would be cool versus having to engineer everything myself. The obvious other thing is, like I said, storage. There is no other option for storage. I feel like some kind of shorter tire carrier bar with an integrated storage box right here, because that's what I plan on engineering myself, would be a better choice. Not many people are going to, except for drifters, are going to have or need 8 tires, or 6 to 8 tires. You're really just going to need 4 extra tires, which are only going to go to, like, with 285s, are only going to go to like here. So yeah, that is kind of an oversight in my opinion. Okay, so some ending thoughts. Do I feel like it was worth it? Yeah. I've done 2 very long trips, one to Road America, which was 2,700 miles round trip through the mountains, and pulling into any gas station. The way this trailer pivots with the location of the axles and stuff is just perfect. I don't know how else to describe it. It is easier to maneuver this much longer trailer than my 16-foot car hauler than it is to maneuver my 16-foot car hauler. I don't know why. Something with the position of the axles and just how it rotates. It's just great. I really like this trailer. The other trip I did is all the way from Florida to Canada, and yeah, no issues the entire way with the trailer. The only real problems I had was like just the wiring LED thing and just forgetting the proper loading and unloading procedure, and wishing my car had key to unlock the windows. So I do feel like it was worth it, and I would recommend it. I do wish they would fix that small little issue and somehow make it a lot cheaper. But if you're gonna spend the money, $10,000, $15,000 on an aluminum trailer, going the extra $8,000 so you never have to deal with freaking ramps is worth it. It's just an added step that you have to do twice at a race, and saves you a lot of time, a lot of back pain. So I definitely would recommend it. But thanks for watching.